Callie and welcome to Kapowski Reads, and I thought it would be a fun-ish maybe idea to vlog my last read of 2025 and my first read of 2026, kind of bookending the year. My last book of 2025 is going to be One Night in Edinburgh by Nina Kay. I have been putting this book off for years because this book starts on Hogmanay, which is the 31st of December. And I've always thought, I need to read this book on the 31st of December. Year after year, that day rolls around and I do not read the book. So I've decided that's not happening. This is going to be my last book and I'll just start reading it at Christmas. I have made a start on this book and I think it's going to be a fun time. So far, I've met Steph, I've met Jamie, Steph's met Jamie, and they had a great old time. It's a closed door, but use your imagination. They had a great time. And then they had some buttered toast in the morning, which is great. But Steph's ex-boyfriend comes home. They have broken up. It's quite amiable. He comes home and she's like, I don't want my ex-boyfriend to be upset. So Jamie hot foots it out of the flat, and only later that night does Steph realise there was no time to swap details, and she genuinely had wonderful conversation and chemistry with Jamie, so she does want to meet him again. So her milk carton style campaign is that when they met, he was really into a beer that was lime and mango flavoured, and it's a little sort of indie beer. So she decides to make little stickers hey Jamie, Steph here, still interested? And she goes to all of the local bars that are near to where they had been, and somehow the bars agree to let her put those stickers on all of those cans of beer, which I think is such a sort of zany approach, but it's also really fun. I don't think that would happen in real life, but I am willing to suspend belief for love and for an entertaining time. It does have to be pointed out though that Steph's friends Amy and Connor, who are so fun, their little dynamic is gorgeous. You can tell they really care about each other. I really this isn't about the friendship, but it's about the friendship. They point out that Jamie does know where Steph lives. He could maybe not pop round, but he could send a letter, pop a note through the letterbox. He knows where she lives. He could find her if he wanted to. The ball feels firmly in his court, but she does, she's fallen hard, and why not? I like Steph. She seems really nice. She and her best friend Anna both work for a charity, which is a Kickstarter charity, and they help disadvantaged youths in Edinburgh. And every time we see an interaction with Steph, we just see something very kind that she's doing. She's a very lovely person. She's always thinking of other people before she thinks of herself. And I do like that she's chasing this romance because it's something for her. I'm a big fan of people finding love. Go for it. I will support this. So while Steph's campaign seems ridiculous and I think I would be scared off, I'm rooting for her. I'm rooting for her to find Jamie and for them to reunite. There could be a reason he's not gotten in touch. He may have just assumed that her ex-boyfriend was coming back to rekindle their relationship and doesn't want to get in the way. That feels like that's a kind of fair assumption to make. I'm excited to continue reading though, so I'm going to do that, and then I'll come back when I have more thoughts and feelings. I'm doing a quick update. I went into the Waterston sale today. It is Boxing Day, and every year they do a deal, some sort of sale. I didn't know what the sale was, but I had put money aside and I had Christmas money and I was a lady ready. I had my bag for life. I had my boyfriend for life. I was ready to get books. It was half price hardbacks. Not usually my favourite thing. Hardback is not my favourite format to read on. It wasn't even half price, it was up to half price hardbacks. a hardback at half price is just the price of a paperback. So if I really want to read that book, why do I not just wait for it to come on paperback? Clearly didn't want it enough to buy it as soon as it came out. Anyway, I wanted to share with you the books that I bought. So here they are. Every single one of them. I bought nothing. I didn't buy anything. There was nothing that I fancied. I had a list. I had a list of 30 books that I wanted to get my hands on. These were the 30 books I was the most excited about reading, and they didn't have any of them. So no new books for me. But when I got home, I ordered, not all of them, I ordered some books from World of Books, and maybe they will arrive before I post this video and I can include my new books in this video. If not, they'll be in the next one. They're secondhand, so they will arrive when they arrive. I'm in no rush. I've got books to read. But I just thought I would come in and give a little update. I'm going to go back to my sofa now. We're going to take the kids to the, what is it? I think it's called the Aberdeen Christmas Village. The winter market. I still haven't had my festive bratwurst, and Christmas is over, as evidenced by the fact that I am sitting where our Christmas tree once stood. Book update, because I've got about 100 pages left and I am having a fun time. I've reached the third act conflict and this feels like the perfect time to give a good update. Steph and Jamie reunited quite quickly. I did not expect them to reunite by about page 100 of this book because I thought, well, is that not what the story is going to be? No, that is not what the story is going to be. It's not about their reunion. So their relationship basically commenced not long after my last update, like quite near the beginning. And we've just been enjoying their relationship slowly progress, but it's very clear Jamie is hiding something. To me, I'm seeing what I would consider red flags, and so is bestie Anna. Anna's also seeing red flags, which makes me really like her more because she's just looking out for her friend who cannot see these kind of warning signs. It could be nothing, but it could be something, and I think you need to pay attention. Jamie is never available during the week, but he won't say why. And I feel if he just said, I'm busy with work, or I have caring commitments, I have volunteer commitments, I only have a weekend bus pass, like anything like that, but the fact that he just won't entertain the subject, keeps changing the subject, that's what makes it weird. He's changing the subject. I'm watching you, Jamie. Jamie is extremely charming though, like so super charming that I completely see how she's just blinded by the romance and doesn't really pursue the old questioning of, what's your surname, Jamie? However, Jamie is a fan of chips and sauce, and as a Borders girl, I kind of have to support him because I love chips and sauce. You can't get that up here. I believe you can get it up to like Arbroath or Dundee. It's basically just brown sauce diluted with vinegar. You could make it yourself, but it doesn't taste the same and it makes a chipper nicer. I do like a chipper. I like a white pudding with chippy sauce. But you can't get that here. I feel like Steph is really, really rushing into the relationship. She is 28, but she feels a lot younger. But she is scaring me off. She's talking about mini breaks, like going on a mini break so that they can get ready to go on a foreign holiday in the summer. Bearing in mind that this current moment, we were talking about April. They met at Hogmanay. They didn't talk for 2 months because she was trying to find him. They've been together 2 months and she's planning a trip with a man she doesn't know the surname of. She is planning in her mind a foreign holiday with a guy. Again, she doesn't know the surname of. She's also talking about bringing him as her +1 for her big work event. She introduces him to her parents and I'm like, Steph, hold your horses. I just think she's really, really naive. She's convinced that this is her her big love, and it could be. She's fallen hard, but she is thinking entirely with her heart and not her head. And that's how you get hurt sometimes. Obviously, I lead with my heart a lot, but I also learn the surname of people I date. I know my boyfriend's middle name and everything. We have been together for 11 years, so that is very different. I also need to tell you how much I hate Steph's family. I love her friends. I love her friends, but I hate her family. They have a WhatsApp group, so you actually get to see the little dialogue between them in addition to their family dinners. And her family are pretentious and rude, and they are the kind of people that think they are much fancier than they are. Like they're fancy, but they're not landed gentry fancy. They're nice home, big car fancy. But it's all about appearances. And they were so horrible to Steph's ex-boyfriend, who did nothing wrong. His crime, if you will, is that he didn't go to university. University isn't for everybody. He has a steady job, got a car, got a gorgeous home, treated Steph really well, and they're still best friends even after their breakup. So why was he not good enough? Oh, because his car wasn't fancy? Because he didn't have a job you could boast about? He was a really good guy who loved your daughter and, paid the bills. But that wasn't enough for them. They're constantly making digs about Steph's job, and she loves her job. She's so passionate about it. She just wants to help people. And all her family talk about is like, oh, but you could earn so much money if you weren't in the third sector. Do you know what? She wants to be in the third sector. She wants to work for the charity. Why are you not happy for your kid who's working really hard and doing something she genuinely cares about, and she's making a difference and she's helping people? Why are you not proud of her? I'm proud of her, and I don't know her, and she's not real. Her parents talk about is just prestige and like, oh, what will other people think? And I'm like, I think other people would think that you're unpleasant. Because I do. But Jamie is brought to meet them on date 4. Date 4. He is thrown in the lion's den, and of course he charms them, but he's a charming guy. I think they're just so easily impressed if you just feed them the right lines, but that's what I was feeling like Jamie's just feeding them the right lines. I just really want to know what's happening with Jamie. There's only 100 pages. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Is there enough time to find out what's going on? Does he have a secret family? Is there a witch's curse? Is he like secretly a prince? I don't know. What's his surname? Or surname even. I don't know why I said it that way. I need to know. And currently he's away in a big huff because she asked him, why can I not see you the week? Why are you evading my questions? And he went off in a big cream puff. But it's really hard to keep your dignity in an argument when you have to get a lift afterwards. So yeah, I don't know. I'm really enjoying it, but I really want to know what's going to happen, and I feel there's not enough book left to give me that. Anyway, I'm going to go get a Christmas bratwurst, even though Christmas is finished. I have 2 updates. Update 1, I have finished my book. And update 2, I have received my books. My Christmas books. I bought myself Christmas presents because I couldn't find any books I wanted that I had saved up for in the Waterston sale. So I bought some online and they arrived today. Let's wrap up the book and then I'm going to show you my little book haul, which is going to basically become my priority reads for next year, which will be this year when the video is uploaded. I liked this book. I had a fun time. We did get to find out what the deal was with Jamie. And I'm going to say that when that reveal came, I felt like such an idiot because it was so obvious that that was what it was going to be, because all of these hints had been getting dropped, these little sprinkles throughout the book, but I didn't notice. And I was a little cautious. When the reveal came, there were 45 pages left in the book. That was not enough book to treat this plot point with the sensitivity and respect and tact that it deserved. So the author did a time jump, which I do respect, because I don't really know how you could really cover this grand reveal in such a short amount of pages. So I kind of appreciate that choice. A lot happened off page, and I just think that, sure, why not? I ended up giving this book 3.5 stars, rounded up to a 4 on Goodreads, because, well, I was going to say it's Christmas. It's not. It's Hogmanay. I'm filming this on Hogmanay. It has taken me 8 days to finish this book. That is not a slight to the book. That is entirely due to me feeling mentally, physically and emotionally drained and just dipping in and out of a book. And I really had a beautiful moment where Steph finally stands up to her family. I would have kind of liked a little bit more, because it was a bit not strange, but she finally stands up to her family, and then a lot happens off page, which I would have quite liked to know. And I was sort of hoping maybe her sister would turn around and like be a nicer person, but I didn't get that. And I suppose that's not the kind of book this was. I went in just thinking this was a romance book, but it wasn't really. There was romance, but that felt secondary to Steph basically rebuilding her life and building a life that she wanted for herself, not a life that other people told her she should have. And I really liked that. It was very much kind of a new beginnings kind of book, which feels perfect for New Year. And the characters, I suppose you could say the characters were a bit one note, but that's okay. I wanted the book to be a little bit of an easier, gentle read. I don't mean simplistic, I just mean I wanted to have a gentle journey through a book. And that's what I got with this. I had a fun time. I did a wee cackle and I cried. Of course I did. Nobody's surprised by this. But I do like the way that the book did try and bring some very serious topics into what was a very light-hearted read. And it didn't try and trivialise these things. It just made them a bit more, hey, this happens. I'm being a bit cryptic because I don't want to ruin the book. But I had a good time. I do recommend this book. I don't know if I'll read it again, but I don't know if I won't read it again. So all in all, I'm going to say good time was had. Let's go on to my new book, shall we? This is my little book haul that I treated myself to. I got these books for just over £50, like £50 35p, I believe. And these are all books that have been on my TBR for quite some time, and these are books that I thought, I really want to read them. When I buy new books that are basically a Christmas present to myself, they form my priority reads for the upcoming year. So they're the books that I'm definitely going to try to finish in 2026, and I think I have a little bit of a fun mix. I'm very excited to read these. But what I'm reading next is my next book for the video, which is Sky Daddy by Kate Folk. I'm going into this only really knowing or thinking that this is a romance between a lady and a plane. I could be wrong. I'm really excited to read this. I think it's going to be strange, and I would really appreciate a strange book. I will come back when I have read a bit of it. I'm not going to start it till tomorrow though, because I want it to be the first book that I read in the year. I don't know. I've just decided. Yeah, I'll be back with updates. Happy New Year! I woke up on New Year's Day to snow, and a proper snow day. I have two New Year's Day traditions, which are a New Year's Day morning walk, or just a morning walk on New Year's Day, and steak pie for dinner. We went for our gorgeous morning walk, but the snow had just started and it was so heavy and it was so aggressive, just like getting whacked in the face by massive snowflakes. They were like this big. It was majestic. I loved it, apart from the whole getting pelted in the face by snow part. And for dinner, we did have a Marks and Spencer's steak pie, because I'm not making a steak pie from scratch. I don't have those skills. When I got home from my walk, I cozied up with a hot chocolate and I finished my book. I'm filming this the next day because I needed time. I needed time to like digest this book. I couldn't just finish it and talk to you about it. I needed time. This book took me on a journey. I did do some little tabbies. I'm not a big tabber. I tabbed parts that I thought were either exceptionally well written, very picturesque, or hilarious. I went into this book not really knowing much about it at all. All I knew was that the main character was really, really into planes. And I have to admit that this is probably my own bias. I expected this to be quite light. Light reading, easy reading, funny. I expected to kind of laugh along with the book, but this was so much more than a light book. It was not a light book. Don't go into this expecting this to be a chuckle fest, because while there are some moments of amusement, it is incredibly emotional. The book focuses on Linda, who is 30. She works as a moderator for a chat internet. She lives an incredibly solitary life. She lives in what she calls her cube. It's a very not legal room renting situation she has. She doesn't have a window, but it suits her. And she is attracted to planes. Her sole luxury in life is going on a monthly flight. Wherever is cheapest, she will go and spend time on a plane. And that kind of satisfies her itch, tides over her desire for a bit. One day, her colleague Karina invites her to a vision board brunch, also known as a VBB, which I love the idea of this. People share their quarterly vision boards. Linda then finds that her vision board starts to kind of come true. Now, Linda's not being 100% honest on her vision board, because her truest desire in life is to marry a plane. But the way that Linda believes marriage between a person and a plane happens is through a plane crash. So obviously she can't show up to this vision board brunch with a vision board full of plane crashes. So she puts on a pilot. She puts a lot of planes and is like, I want to travel. I love the VBB. I love the idea of a vision board. I make a vision board every single year. I do it electronically though, so maybe I should start making them in paper, physical. I should make a physical one. I don't know. It's just, I think it's a nice way to set some like intentions and goals for the year. So Linda thinks that basically if the plane crashes, it's because the plane has chosen somebody on board to spend the rest of its life with. And while I think that is irrational, she explains her thought process. So I can see why she feels that it's rational. Sorry, I'm distracted. There's snow. There's more snow. Oh, I'm so happy. This is actually more of a story about loneliness, as well as focusing on friendship and desire, but at its core, it is about loneliness. Linda is lonely. She is terribly, terribly lonely, and it is by choice. She is convinced that her fate lies in a tragic plane crash. Not tragic for her, because it's what she wants, but a plane crash will always be tragic. She doesn't want to have people get to know and care about her, because she feels that they're just going to have to mourn her when she is chosen by a plane. At the VBB, the Vision Board brunch, she starts to really progress her friendship with Karina, and she does make friends. She has friends, and I really, really love that for her. She sort of became a bit torn now that she had people who cared about her, while she also really, really knew or hoped that this is what was going to happen. While Linda is attracted to planes, she does address the lady who married the Eiffel Tower, and she's like, no, it's not the same. She does explain her thought process, and while it seems wild to me, it makes sense to her. So who am I to yuck somebody's yum when it makes sense to her? She does make it very clear that she believes that being chosen by a plane is her fate. So she does leave things up to fate. She's not going to tamper with a plane. She's not going to put herself in a dangerous situation on purpose. She just knows in her heart that that's what's going to happen. This book is so deep. It got really deep really quickly. Like chapter 1, I was just taken aback because I genuinely didn't expect to feel so much reading this book. Like my friends and I, we were talking about this book, and I was like, I'm going to read it. And they are ready for me to come back and tell them all the hilarious parts of this book. And I'm going to come back and be like, are you ready to cry? Are you ready to feel feels? Because yeah, there were some chuckles. There is a bit I'm going to read out to them. But if I read it out here, I will spoil a very key part of the book. And if you've read the book, I'm going to be telling them about the part with Karina and Linda on the plane the first time. I felt this was a complete emotional roller coaster. I cared for Linda. I wanted her to find some happiness in life. Maybe outside of planes. But if it's planes that make her happy, then, you know, on you go. But maybe don't do the thing you do on the plane while there's other people there. I genuinely find myself I wanted to pick this up. I wanted to keep reading it. I wanted to know what happened next. I wanted to know what happened next for everybody in the book, not just Linda. I wanted to know what was going to happen to all of the little side characters as well, because they were so interesting. My heart it broke. I felt so sad for Linda. It's horrible when somebody's alone and they don't want to be. I know, like she said, that it was so that people wouldn't mourn her, but she didn't really want to be alone. But the girl was focused. I thought the writing was stunning. It was beautifully written. It was very emotive. I felt Linda's solitude just drip off of the page. And I understood that her feelings towards planes were so much more than just lust. It was to her a genuine kinship, a genuine romance. To Linda, they were soulmates. This was amazing. Like, I had to sit on my thoughts with this one. It was just so beautiful. I love this book. I am starting 2026 with a 5-star. Who knew? I paused for effect. I'm filming this. Nobody's going to respond. Nobody's here to respond. It's just me, the cat, and a whole bunch of seagulls outside in the snow. I want to thank my friend Hayley, who will not watch this video, but I have already thanked her in person. She gave me this book. I loved it. I've had the best time with my last and my first of the year, and I feel that I'm ready. I'm ready to go in to 2026. I mean, I'm in whether I want to or not. I'm here. But I'm excited. Let me know what your first read of 2026 is going to be. Thank you so much for watching. Happy New Year again. Bye.